Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Yeah, I don't even know. You wrote a great piece, as you do. The media won't make Republicans own Trump's fascist rhetoric. You say you're never going to put a stake in the heart of Trumpism in this country. We talk about this every week together, don't we? You said that bull is here to stay until its followers die of some illness that they could have gotten vaccinated for, or from shooting themselves with one of their dozens of guns, or of old age, along with a red hat faded by the sun and a threadbare Lexco Brandon flag they bought at a rally years ago, like old Nazi treasuring that handkerchief the Fuhrer gave after wiping the sweat off his brow. Oh. Truly a Pandora's box was opened since Trump began running for president on an explicitly racist platform in 2015. I mean, it does feel like that, doesn't it? Yeah. We talk about this all the time, is Trumpism, regardless of what happens to him.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not going away. That's been unleashed on the United States. And I think there's even, there's like articles out like all of the violence that's the violence, physical and otherwise, that members of Congress are starting to engage in, and rhetorical violence, and the way that all of these followers of Trump. I think that the Times of the Post had an article yesterday or today that was about how Trump unleashed something in voters that won't go away.
Well, there's that tape that just came out of Marjorie Taylor Greene that she tried to delete of her citing the J6 rioters in person, accusing Nancy Pelosi of treason, and what we have for the penalty for treason is. I mean, this is all one story, right up and through the attempted murder of Nancy Pelosi with severely injured her husband. So you're right. What's probably most ironic here is that the fake news media Trump is describing is still mostly giving a pass on this move to openly say full-on, actually fascistic dictator. Sure, they're reporting on it, but they're letting other Republicans get away with not owning Trump or his rhetoric. I mean, that's a good point, Rudy. Don't just say, oh, look at this thing he said. You make them own it, and they're just not doing that, are they?
Well, I will say that, what was interesting was, so I wrote that yesterday, and then this morning, Staten Island Republican Representative Nicole Malliotakis was, wow, that's really pretty close to Tukis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, as I was speaking it, I thought that last part sounds familiar. But was on CNN this morning. And she was asked repeatedly, like, how do you feel about Trump's, rhetoric towards undocumented immigrants? And of course, it kept it confined to that. And I want them to be asked, all right, he says he wants to end DACA and deport all of those people, all of those
800,000
brought here as kids. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with deporting 800,000, people that are essentially American?
Yeah. And also, as you said, Steve Bannon was talking about, it means the deportation of 10 million people. Ask Republicans from farm states how they feel about that. You're right. Ask the rest if they're okay with Trump opening up giant internment camps for migrants having no due process. I mean, you're right. Hit them with the specifics of it.
Right. And can you imagine the number of people that are going to be rounded up that in error? I mean, and how are you going to determine that? How are you going to determine who's legal and illegal, to use his terminology?
Right.
And are you going to just stop people that look like they might be from another country?
Yeah.
And who is that, of course, going to fall on? It's ridiculous. It's an untenable policy, and Malliotakis was actually, saying wouldn't address the camps thing, but was essentially saying, well, we have to secure the border. We have to secure the border, and it was ridiculous.
Here's my favorite
the verbal
sentence.
gymnastics they go through to try to justify Trump policies.
Yes, you said the reason to keep pushing all these gibbering mites. I'm almost positive I've never had a mite, but now I feel like I need to check. To answer for Trump is that
you should check thoroughly.
We as a country need to hear that there won't be any checks or balances on him. I mean, that's the point of it, is just the unmitigated nightmare this would be. Okay. So, because also you also commented on this Colorado judge keeps Trump on the ballot, but finds he engaged in insurrection. You just said, "God, we're a stupid country." I mean, you travel, you go as they say across the pond every now and again, and people are just like, "What the? Why is this guy not in jail? Like what?"
Well, it's not. It's also you're sitting there looking at that, going, wait. You really are going to go with this whole, little dive into constitutional rhetoric and saying, no, it's not. The presidency is not actually what they were referring to when they were referring to an office in the Constitution. And it's like, no, we call it the office of the president.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what we call it.
Right. By the way, you also tweeted some COVID. Somebody tweeted, COVID-19 vaccine rates in the UK versus the US. Long-term care residents in the UK at 78%, here 17%, 65 years old and older 68% in the UK, 31% here. Access, trust, cost, healthcare system. So many differences play out in these numbers. It hurts. And you just said we're the stupidest damn country. Part 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, here it is.
And that throw in guns and people are like, oh my God, sorry, the dumbest country.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's like, what can we do to harm ourselves in as many ways as possible?
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems to be the goal of being American.
We are the glue sniffers of the world. Yeah.
Right.
The paste eaters. Okay, Clyde.
No, that would be Clyde. Clyde is the paste eater.
Yeah. Don't take the paste away.
He thought I was calling him paste eater.
Clyde's thinking, wait, somebody else is going to eat my paste?
Oh, boy. You retweeted interesting policy change. Michigan law would be the first to automatically register people to vote as they leave prison. And you said, wait, you mean treating people who served their sentence as if they're now members of society? Crazy. Yeah.
I know, compassion, acting like, you've done your sentence and now you get to rejoin society and be treated equally because, you went through the criminal justice system and that's supposed to be the purpose of it, is to rehabilitate you so you can join society again. Except, sorry, here's all the things you can't do anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Republicans don't follow laws anyway. We'll talk to Barb McQuaid. She commented on the whole Ohio voters. The Republicans are trying to just like, nope, that doesn't matter what you voted on abortion.
Yeah, we're not gonna follow what the voters said on abortion or marijuana because we're a-holes.
Yep. Right, exactly. I have to keep turning my mic off so that you can't hear Clyde. Okay.
Oh, we can hear him.
Oh, we can hear him. Through mine.
Okay. Also, you retweeted, dear God, with a simple docket entry, Eileen Cannon all but assured that the trial of Donald Trump in the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case will not happen until after the 2024 election. Icing on the cake, Cannon has done what she's done in a way that will make appealing her or seeking her recusal virtually impossible at this stage. In short, we're probably stuck with Cannon and these awful compromise decisions. And you just said, we wouldn't want to know if someone was guilty of treating top secret stuff like it's samples at Costco before they're elected president. I mean, right, that he could get away with that and insurrection, and is just astounding.
Yeah. Sorry. He was the president, so we have to treat him with respect, even if he didn't treat the country with respect, even if he didn't treat the Constitution with respect.
Right.
We have to have this sort of weird aura around him to give him the benefit of the doubt, and it's like, I don't think we're going to get through any of these trials until after the election, and that's just.
Oh, I think J6 we are. I think January 6th is gonna go in the spring. I mean that because, But
will it finish?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is like, all of these trials are going to take forever, and Trump's legal team is going to throw up. Right. I mean, I'm imagining that I didn't even know you could delay trials this many ways.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference. Yeah,
so creative in a way.
It's still all about money. Like, who among us has the money to appeal and appeal and appeal and appeal for years and years and years? I mean, it's just that's the insane part of our judicial system.
Yeah, that's the broken part of the system. And, it makes me think about, like with capital punishment cases, people that are pro capital punishment are like, oh, they can appeal forever. And it's like, that's life or death. That's not about let them appeal things. But, with this, it's not even getting to trial.
Right.
I mean, maybe the idea is to keep appealing until everyone involved dies.
Jimmy Carter said Rosalind was my equal partner in everything I ever accomplished. She gave me wise guidance, encouragement when I needed it. As long as Rosalind was in the world, I always knew somebody loved me and supported me. Not just a love story. She was 96, he's 99, 77 years they're together. But, I was saying, Ruth, I don't know if you have just thoughts on, this is how far we've fallen from Jimmy Carter to, who's still building houses for the homeless. Right at 99, and Donald Trump.
Yeah. And then Rosalind Carter, who I'm glad she's getting her due in all of the obituaries about all of the stuff she did. There was something struck me that hasn't gotten a lot of notice is she was a woman in Georgia and got a college degree in 1946.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a big deal.
And did that movie Steel Magnolias steal it from her? Because I didn't know she was known as the Steel Magnolia.
Yeah, and that she would be sent on these trips overseas to meet with world leaders, and they all said, "Oh no, it wasn't a social visit. She was there to talk policy."
And she created the modern office of the First Lady.
Yeah.
Like First Ladies didn't have a staff before her.
Yeah.
They didn't have an office in the East Wing of the White House.
Yeah.
Sat in on National Security Council meetings. I mean, I was way too young, but I'm guessing that there was a huge uproar about things like that.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I did not mean to imply that Donald Trump and Melania do not have just as magical and.
Oh yeah, no. That's a love that will last forever. Or at least until the contract runs out.
I meant Donald and Melania and at least 3 or 4 hookers. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.